Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about the impact of the lung allocation score cohort update. I have nothing to disclose. The motivation for this work is that the lung allocation score, or the LAS, is an important differentiator of lung candidates used in lung allocation. It's based on two components: predicted 1-year survival in the waiting list and predicted 1-year post-transplant survival. The most recently updated LAS was updated in 2015, and it used data from lung candidates who were waiting from 2006 to 2008. The LAS components will be used in a new continuous allocation framework, so we updated the model cohorts to better reflect current patient populations. Models and methods are similar to the way the current LAS is produced. The waitlist model used an updated cohort of patients from 2015 to 2018, as did the post-transplant model. The waitlist model outcome was 1-year waitlist mortality, and the post-transplant model outcome was 1-year post-transplant mortality. Each model was a Cox proportional hazards model. It used the same LAS components that are currently in use. No new covariates were introduced. We updated the betas for those models based on the newer cohort, and we computed current and updated LAS ranks on a snapshot of patients 12 years or older who were waiting on the first of the year in 2019. What the ranks tell you is approximately where people are in line, so to speak, on the wait list. Here we see the overall LAS ranks by the current and new updated model. The lower numbered ranks have the most access to transplant. Those are the folks who are getting offers first. Candidates below the 45-degree line improved access under the model update, and changes due to the model updates that we see here are similar to the changes that we saw in prior LAS revisions compared with the original LAS. If nothing changed, there would be no reason to do any model updates. It means that the cohorts and patients have looked the same throughout time. And we know that that's false. So we do expect to see a little bit of change here. When we look at the LAS ranks by age group, what we see is that under the model updates, there is increased access to the oldest candidates, those greater than age 65, and decreased access to transplant for the younger candidates, those aged 18 to 49. In the past 10 years, the candidates for lung transplant have gotten older and sicker. And if you think about the way the LAS works, we do see those with the highest urgency do get the most access to transplant, and that's reflected here by age group. When we look at ranks by diagnosis group, we see that under the model updates, access for group D candidates increased while access for groups B and C candidates decreased a bit. In the past 10 years, those group D candidates have made up half of the waiting list, and they do have the highest wait list mortality, which is why they get the increased access under the new models. When we look at the ranks by race and ethnicity group, we see that the patterns mirror the overall patterns. There are no real differences by race. In summary, since 2008, the proportion of older candidates and Group D candidates has increased on the lung waiting list, and this is reflected in the changes that we see in waitlist and post-transplant survival. And we see this through the lens of LAS ranks by subgroup. Updating the models with recent patients provided increased access to transplant for the most acutely ill patients. For the full report, see the link below, which details the changes in ranks by many different subgroups. I'd like to thank my CDRG colleagues for their support in this work. And if you have further questions, feel free to contact us at SRTR. Thanks for your attention.